perfect timing. Howdy, Frank. Howdy, Frank. Yeah, hi, Frank. Oh boy, yes, it might be one of those nights. Howdy, chat. It's Fridays with Frank. You know what that means. Lots of fun, maybe some shenanigans, and some very interesting news coming to you live from Ham Radio Wilderness. Yeah, all right. So before I get any more derailed here, let's just skip right into the segments. Your Ham Term Friday. No, Chris, I do not need drinks. Trust me. All right. Ham Term Friday. Front End Overload is the term of the day. And no, we're not talking about Dan, WD4DAN. Front end overload happens when a receiver is exposed to very strong signals that essentially overwhelm the radio's ability to hear weaker ones. For example, my Yaesu FT710 that's sitting right here on the desk. It is being front-end overloaded by the neighbors outside the studio shack. Hey! That's why you haven't heard me much on HF. Yes, front-end overload. Think of it like trying to have a quiet conversation while standing next to a rock concert speaker. You know, the big, 4-foot by 2-foot wide speakers. Yeah, those things. The strong signal out of those speakers may not even be on the same frequency you're listening to, but it can still affect your receiver. So, for example, my radio here, let me switch over to this screen. Yeah, and then we're going to make this bigger for a second. So, I'm going to take it out of scan mode, because I always have it in scan mode. And I'm just going to, let's unlock that, and we'll just go through all the memories here. Memory 1, 28.3, 2, 3, 4. 10 might not be great, but let's check out 12. Okay, nothing there. 15. Nothing much going on there either. 17. 20. Now, there's a couple weak signals down there at 14 to 10 or so. But otherwise nothing. And then 40. Not even gonna blink at what's on 40. And then we have, went back to 40. Come on, oh yeah, that's right, because I do every 5 kc on 40. Now we're on 80. Yeah, Mark, the antenna is connected. It is there, but yeah, even on 80. So this front end overload affects all the bands. That is the down and dirty of front end overload. It can affect the whole thing. Living near broadcast towers, nearby repeaters on 2 meters, for example, or UHF, strong local HF stations, or even high RF environments during field day. Yeah. So you might experience some of that front-end overload on field day if you're going this week. And entire sections of the band could be dead. Strange signals appear where they shouldn't. An increased noise floor. I don't have that, but it just wipes out the receiver. Weak stations disappear. Even the strong stations can disappear. Sometimes your radio isn't deaf. It's just overwhelmed. And that is your Ham Term Friday. And I see everybody chatting. I will get to chat. I want to rock through these segments though, and then I will get to chat. Your Ham Mythbuster for the week, and this I don't see this one particular station in chat yet. Might be lurking though. More gain is always better. A lot of people think more gain automatically means better reception. That's not always true. Oh, wait, there he is. Hi, Dawn. You were the station I was thinking of. More gain can amplify the noise, increase overload problems, make weak stations harder to hear, or even cause distortion. A practical example of this, have you ever turned the RF gain down and suddenly stations became easier to copy? That's because sometimes less is really more. That's the key takeaway there. Sometimes preamps and gain are useful in some situations. Sometimes there's a station right there at the noise floor. Prime example, last Thursday, a week ago Thursday, when I was out doing that quick POTA, I heard Larry, Fox 5 Papa Yankee India from France. He was a 2-2, but I had to kick that preamp up to amp, instead of IPO, I had to kick it up to amp 1 and then adjust my gain in order to pull him out. And, I was able to pull him out. They aren't needed all the time, of course. And antenna quality usually matters more than adding amplification. That goes for both transmission and reception. Hey, Andy, welcome. I see a lot of fun people in chat tonight. So you can't amplify what isn't there, and you don't always want to amplify the noise. That is the key takeaway with your ham Mythbuster of the week. And then we roll right into why your signal died. And the key one, nearby strong stations. I wish I could provide an example of this. I don't have it. I couldn't find it easily for me. But, so there's 2 repeaters in my general area that are on 145.470, 2 meters. Well, one is only 20 air miles that way, while the other one is, point the right-ish way, as if it matters. The other one is 60 air miles that way. That 60-mile away one, I can hear fine, as long as the 20-mile away one doesn't transmit. When they both transmit at the same time, neither of them really. Well, okay, the Hopland one, the one to my north, wins a lot better because it's a nearby strong station. Sometimes, though, the reason why you can't hear weak stations has nothing to do with propagation. It may be because that nearby strong signal is crushing your receiver. A local repeater site, another ham transmitting close by. I have 2 active hams here in town. I know when they're on 40 because they're 60 over, even over that front end overload. They get over the front end overload, and that's about it. Multi-operator field day setup, so this is important to pay attention to this weekend. Okay, Eric. Walk like an Egyptian. Yeah, okay. Nearby broadcast stations, especially with QRP radios, you get a lot of interference from nearby broadcast stations on HF because it's just overloading that front end. Again, front end overload. Nearby strong stations causes that. The symptoms of this: weak stations disappear. That 60-mile away station, gone. History. It's like it doesn't exist. It does co-phase with the stronger, closer one, but, good luck understanding what's said. Receiver sounds sound noisy or distorted. Strange ghost signals can appear. Turning off the preamp actually improves reception. That's a key one. People go and run with the preamp on, and, maybe they turned it on once and forgot to turn it off. I know a guy that hunts POTA out of Wyoming, and whenever he gives you a signal report, he will tell you your 5.9 no preamp, your 5.9 preamp 1, your 5.9 preamp, whatever the signal is, and whether or not he's using the preamp, which is absolutely wonderful. Troubleshooting tips. These are the important ones. Turn off the preamp. Engage the attenuator. Use filters if your radio has them. tons of people do not use their filters, and you can tell because say somebody's sitting there just dead keying their straight key or whichever Morse key they have, and they're just keyed down on it, trying to interrupt your POTA activation. Notch filter, notch them out, be done with it. You don't hear it, problem gone, right? Move farther away from stronger RF sources if you can. Not everybody can, and if you're out, doing a SOTA POTA or whatever, doesn't always work to move away from the RF sources. Improve antenna selectivity. I'm not going to deep dive that one, but that is something that you will want to do. Sometimes the loudest station in town prevents you from hearing everyone else. That is the key takeaway there. And then your RF safety minute, which means we're almost done. And then I'm going to go through and catch up on chat because I have some fun stuff for you, chat. High RF environments. Think your SOTA locations where there's a lot of broadcasting going on, or wherever an AM broadcast tower might be. But this safety minute is operating around those high RF environments. This commonly happens during field day, club events, hamfests, multi-op stations, or, SOTA and POTA. Good practices for this are know where transmitting antennas are located and keep some distance from what you think are active antennas. Or if you know for sure, say you're at field day and oh yeah, the 20-meter Yagi's in use, I don't want to get too close to that. Stay away from the RF zone. Avoid standing directly near antennas while stations are transmitting. Avoid touching the coax, too, because RF burns can happen quite easily. Communicate with other operators before keying up. It's sort of like this whole safety thing. Are you clear of the main line for railroads? Are you clear of the red zone? Whatever. Make sure you're communicating with the other hams you're with, and that you're not going to get some RF burn, or, your brain doesn't get tingled by the microwave frequencies if you're using microwave, that sort of stuff. Just because you can't see RF doesn't mean it's not there. RF is everywhere. RF is around all of us, 24/7, 365. High SWR tastes different, right, John? Be aware of your surroundings and know where the RF energy is coming from, especially at microwave levels. Don't look the dish right in the dish. You're guaranteed to have a bad time. The key takeaway for this one, distance is one of the best RF safety tools you have. And that is your ham segments for this week. Yes, Mark, RF is like Santa Claus. It's everywhere. All right, let me quickly catch up on chats here. Hi, Mitch. Good to see you in there. Chris says his FTM 400 has that problem. Probably talking about front-end overload there. Yeah, 3,000 subs. It took a minute on Wednesday night, but yes, I am officially over 3,000 subs now. Let's see, where's that? And all my sounds work. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So thank you. And yes, Brian, it has been a grind for sure. Hey, Gary, welcome in. And Dave, Tall Dave. Let's see. Add filters. Yeah, absolutely, Mark. Add your filters in. Here, I will, extra scenes, radio screens. So I will show you with the 710. Now, granted, this varies radio to radio, and this is somewhat of a newer radio. But if I punch the function, not the function button, the step button, say somebody's like right above me, and I just bring down the width to 2500. Yes, it pinches the audio down on receive a little bit, but then I can hear it. And let's just say somebody's killing that CW tone at 700 hertz, right? I just come down to 700 hertz and notch out that CW tone. And then you can adjust your contour to whatever you want. I generally don't have that on. No, come on, turn off. Thank you. And then say you're still having issues and you want to shift it up a little bit. You know, get that CW out of there and keep everything nice and clean. Now, between the shift and the width and the notch, I have none of the issues that I would have. And then just a quick button and my, come on. There we go. Now I'm back to normal mode. Transmit at home and receive on a web SDR. That's great. Depending upon where you're at and where the SDR is at. Yeah, absolutely. Jason, but it goes to 11. Always go to 11, Graceful. Jason, I was reading you and Graceful there. Yeah, welcome, Graceful. Of course, we always miss you. Glad you could make it. Let's see here. It's all about the SNR. Yeah, that is true. And yes, so this is one of the things I was going to bring up, Vince. Wow, that was a while ago. Okay, so why is my pop chat not working? Hello, chat. There we go. So this is something I was going to bring up. Please, for field day especially, let your clubs know. Let the other clubs know. Let everybody know. Keep 7135 and let's say 5 kilohertz on either side. So 7130 to 7140. Just forget that even exists this weekend. Please keep it clear for Venezuelan earthquake traffic. Now, I have noticed, and Hollywood can back me up on this, there hasn't been a lot of traffic. But please keep that all clear. Keep that whole, just 7130 to 40. Just forget it exists this weekend. Simple as that. Absolutely, Vince. Let's see here. I'm waving like an airplane ground support. Yeah. Let's hear. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah. As if I worked for airplanes or something. No, I work for trains, but I just happen to know. Let's hear. Dave has an AM station where to broadcast it blows everything out. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's not great either. John likes the tingles. Well, John, that's a personal opinion. Notch it like it's hot. Yeah, absolutely. And then John said, "Woo, what are you giving us to celebrate?" So, I don't know if it's giving you to celebrate, but we will go over this. This is one of the many things I wanted to go over today. I made a post. I'm trying to get it brought up here real quick. I made a post, and I shared it out to all the social medias, but where is it? There it is. And let me make sure other screens are safe. There we go. All right. So I'm going to read it as it is. So get ready for this. And I passed this by a couple people before posting it. I went, "Hey, does this sound like a good idea?" And they went, "Well, maybe modify this or do this, whatever." So chat. Yeah, because I love screaming chat, right? I figured it out. So a couple weeks ago, well, this has been another 3 or 4 weeks ago now, I mentioned on my Friday with Frank that if I reached a certain super chat limit, I have to come back to this screen. This green screen here would get revealed as to what's behind it. Well, now, here's the idea. This is where I came up with the idea. Between the day I posted this, which was June 22nd, and July 31st, if I get a total of 250 in super chats or super thanks on videos, I count both, I will reveal what is behind the curtain. Because I know some people go, what's behind the curtain? You know, and so that is that. But it gets better. And yes, I used the Wizard of Oz for this. If I get a total of 500 in either super chats or super thanks, thank you, Mark, for the 2 jewels there. Fantastic. For some reason, I can't highlight that. YouTube chat doesn't like to highlight those, but I do see it. So, 500 or more, you will not only get a look behind the curtain, but I will not shave my head and let my hair grow out for a total of 31 days. So, for 500 or more, you'll get behind the screen, and you will see, I will shave my head July 31st, and then from August 1st to 31st, I will grow my hair out, and you will see what a month of actual hair on Frank looks like. I'm not doing anything beard related. No beard or mustache. That's not happening. Up here, absolutely. So, chat, that is completely up to you. And thank you, Mark, for the 10 jewels times 2 there. Fantastic. So, chat, that is 100% up to you. You don't have to do it, but that is the challenge I present to you guys. So, there you go. Let's hear. So, John, did it start? Well, no, the $2 Clubhouse, that goes to the kids' table. Does that, but, let me, so I can look this up right here. Let me go to this tab and go to this tab. And so, John, that was on the 19th. This started on the 22nd of June. So, I may count it. No, because I officially posted it the 22nd. So, the challenge started on the 22nd. So, there you go. Right, Hollywood? What would you do for a Klondike bar? Let's see here. If Frank grows his hair down to his shoulders, he'll give away one of my new Made in the USA Hawaiian Ham radio shirts. Speaking of quirky, so James, you have to respond to me for 2 things. I sent you 2 further messages, but yes, let's bring that up. Screen share, bottom right. Load it. Thank you. Come on, really? You're not going to load it? There we go. So, chat, there you go. There's even more incentive. So, down to my shoulders might take a few months. But yeah, if you guys get me to that hair growing and reveal, you will get, we'll get it, we'll get something worked out here. Let's see, the close-up photos. Oh, you literally have close-up photos. Yeah, that is cool. Let's see. That looks like a Yaesu. Can't tell what the HF is. Maybe a 706 Mark II. These look like Kenwoods, commercial Kenwoods. Yeah. So there you go. Let's see here. Do we pick door number 1 or door number 2 or what's behind the curtain? So, Graceful, that as I just read off, if I reach $250 in Super Chats before July 31st, I will reveal what's behind the curtain. Now, granted, Mitch in chat already knows because he's been here in studio, so he already knows. But if 215 Super Chats is reached before July 31st, this will get revealed. 500 or more, this gets revealed and this gets grown out. What are we up to now? Nothing, Tim. Let's see. That no head shaving might be a non-incentive. Yeah, maybe, Brian. I don't know. You know, Graceful, business in the front, party in the back. I don't know. I was never fond of the mullet. I know people can rock it, but yeah. Let's see here. Just tilt my head. Shortens the distance. Really? Really? Okay. Yeah, okay, so Brian, that is a good point. This right here is 2.5 weeks of growth. So, yeah. Let's hear. Ear hair counts for shoulder length hair. Really? Does it, John? Oh, okay. There are hidden radios. Oh, and frequencies. Oh, now you got me looking, James. Yeah, you got me looking very close now. No, okay. So, Chris, I shave it. I usually keep it shaved. So I figured a reverse of that would be, let it grow out. Let's hear. How much to keep you from showing us? Showing you what? What's behind the curtain or fully grown out? That's a good question, John. Bring the mullet back. Yeah, right, Jason. All right, so while I set this Nets thing up here, chat, if you're part of a club and you want a shout out for Field Day to get the social media points, start dropping your clubs in chat. I already shouted out last night VVR and Snars. So we'll go there. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you guys, I put something together. I'm personally proud of it. It is for Discord. It is in my Discord. It is being privately beta tested in another Discord currently. But I have a POTUS Spot app specifically for Discord, but it is incorporated into chat as well. And it is stupid simple to set up. All you have to do is set up which call signs you... Here, let me embiggen myself here a little bit. You just set up what call signs you want. And as you see, I have a bunch in there already, including... Let's see. I have to come over this way for this. Including a 1 Kilo Hotel 2 X-Ray X-Ray. And... I don't have it in order, and also a Kilo Hotel 2 Sierra Romeo. So you literally just put the call signs in as they are, and this would be the template you get. Ignore the watch parks. Just ignore the watch bits. If you want Discord to ping, you just set this to true. And then you save it. Okay? And then spots only newer than 10 minutes. Now, there is also... This one gets a little trickier. And I'm not going to be able to show you all of this. But this is the Python script that goes with it to make everything happen. You do have to set... And I'm not going to embiggen this because, yeah. With this, you have to create a webhook in Discord. And I'm about to show you how to do that. And then you put the webhook link into this Python script here. And you literally just run it. So let me come over to Discord. So this is what it looks like. I wish there were a way to make that go away altogether, but whatever. This is what it looks like in Discord. Now, I did remove the physical ping, but if I scroll back far enough, let's see. Yeah, if I scroll back far enough, you see the @ here. That notifies everyone, and you get a little number notification. I found that to be a little too annoying. So I removed that. That is where the ping is. But you notice, okay, granted, James has been activating a lot, but let's hear it. This was today, so just a half hour or so ago, Tim was at 4215, which I think is his Morgan Monroe State Park. Of course, James is out at his usual park. And, it just goes on. And so every time somebody gets spotted or respotted, it will automatically ping here. Now, this is the most recent spot in the Discord as of this minute. Sort of, Brian. Sort of. You can customize what call signs are in there for your Discord. So say you have, like Tim, for example, Rockets and Radios. Say he wants to have his club, his call, Nicole's call, and my call to ping in his Discord, and that's it. He could use this and create a POTA alert spot. This is available, and I'll drop the link here in a second. It's completely available. It's on GitHub. It's nice and easy. But this is the key part that I recently implemented that I absolutely love. Watch chat. So I just put a command into chat. !POTA. And it comes back with the latest spot, which doesn't completely match up with what's in Discord, but okay. But James is spotted at US 11673 on CW at 6:49 p.m. Eastern. So let's see, 6:49 Eastern. Okay, that sort of, that timing looks a little off, so I may have to fix that. But if you want to know what the last spot was in the Discord, and you're in chat, and say you don't have Discord pulled up or whatever, !POTA will get it for you. It literally pulls that info from, there's a script. Oh, come on. Okay, here we go. Latest POTA spot.txt. It literally pulls this, which it didn't pull correctly, apparently. And because it's supposed to pull UTC date and time, not local. So I'm going to have to fix that. But this is literally what just got pulled into chat with the !POTA. But I have to fix an issue there. No, I don't have beer yet, Mike. I'm working on it. Yeah, so that, hey Dave, welcome. So that is what I'm calling POTA Watch. And if you have a Discord and you want to implement it, here is the link for it. That is where did my pop chat go? Really? There we go. That is the link for POTA Watch. Now, granted, it is still work in progress, and for the most part, it's working. Discord's working fine. YouTube chat, I gotta work that out a little bit. But yeah, that is the big news out of Ham Radio Wilderness. Now, I am trying to figure out what to continue doing with Thursday night shows. So, if you have suggestions and you're in Discord, there is a Thursday night show topic bit there that you can suggest topics in. And let's drop the Discord link there. But for now, I'm going to take a big gulp of water because I've been yep. Let's what do we want to talk about? Trains, photography, ham radio? Brian, I fear that has been overdone. I know a few ham tubers have done it. I fear it might have been overdone, though. But that's an idea. Put it in the Thursday show chat, Thursday show topics area, and we'll take a look at it and see if it's something to do. Let's see. Graceful wants to know, are POTAs running on field day as well? Yes, they are. Graceful. Yes, they are. I was about to say the wrong name. Yeah, they're running on field day. Last year I was out field day and I was at San Pablo at my usual spot off of 37. Absolutely. Now, granted, POTA can go to the work bands, unlike field day. So, all right. So I noticed a couple there. Let's see here. Marina Amateur Radio Club, Whiskey 6 Sierra Golf. That is an interesting club. Mitch is definitely a good person in that club, absolutely. And where are they doing their field day, Mitch? Where's Mars doing their field day at? Let's see here. Let's talk about you can save $15 a month by switching to Corky QRP. Well, I don't know about $15 a month, but you can save, what is it, $15 over $50 using my code at Corky QRP. Geico. Right, yeah. Yeah, Dave has it right here, Graceful. Some clubs are doing their field day at a POTA park. Absolutely. I wish more clubs would do that. So while I wait for Mitch to respond, who seems to have disappeared from chat. Mitch, where are you? Do I have to message you? I'm gonna do, because I said I was gonna do these shout outs again. For field day, SNARS, Sierra Nevada Amateur Radio Society, Washoe Lake State Park Equestrian Area. That's south of Reno on 580. Go hang out for more information. SNARS.org. That's the Sierra Nevada Amateur Radio Society. And we're good there. And then W6VVR, Vaca Valley Radio Club, hence the VVR. They're doing theirs at their field day at the Solano County Fairgrounds again this year. And it is lots of fun and lots of, they're keeping it busy this year at the fairgrounds. So check out, if you're in the area of Vallejo, California, or anywhere in the Solano County area, the Vaca Valley Radio Club, W6VVR. And there's the clip for that. You know, James, he's been called much worse than that. He has been called much worse than that. And yes, I'm going to have to text him that, apparently. Where is Mars holding their field day? You disappeared. There we go. Let's see what he has to say about that. And then the the last club I will mention for now, and guys, if you are in a club and want to have a shout out for the social media points, feel free to do that. The last club for now, oh, I just saw one. W6EK, Whiskey 6 Echo Kilo. That's the Sierra Foothills Amateur Radio Club. They will be operating at the Georgetown Airport in Georgetown, California. For more information, I need to get their website right before I say that. It's w6ek.org for the Sierra Foothills Amateur Radio Club, and you can find all the information for their field day setup there. And boom, clip made. All right, and then WARC, W-A-R-C. What is that? Western. What's the full name of that? Mike will be running as Whiskey Zero Whiskey in the Wichita Fire Training Facility. Very cool. Sounds like that'll be lots and lots of fun. So check out Whiskey Zero Whiskey, the Wichita Amateur Radio Club, I guess, Mike, is what that is. So go check them out. And that got clipped. Contact for the Mars Ham Club is Marvin Martian. He's looking to ignite his UR-232 explosive space modulator. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, great. So, Whiskey 6 Sierra Golf, the Marin Amateur Radio Club, or Mars Ham Club in Marin County, California, will be at Stafford Lake in Marin County, California for their field day this year. There we go. That's clipped. And while I remember this, when I hit my clip button, because I am live to Twitch as well, it automatically creates a clip on Twitch that if you go to the clips page, it should I guess it'll do it after I'm done live streaming, but if you want to see the clips, they are all located right there. Let's see here. James tries not to use the work bands because it sounds too much like work. Yeah, that's why I got to use the southern in me. It's work and wark. Yeah, the wark bands don't do much work. Yeah. So hopefully that clip button's working. It should be. I have it set up. It worked yesterday. If not, you just have to find where in the live stream the clip went. Yeah, I'm live. It says I'm live, so okay. Clips. Yeah. I don't have a pair of those, Hollywood. Let's see here. And here we go, Hillbilly Ham. Dave, Narc will be running as Kilo Zero Alpha in Nixa, Missouri at SB Elementary. So go check out NARC with Kilo Zero Alpha in the Missouri side of Field Day this year. And there's the clip button there. Fantastic. I think we got everybody at this point. Yeah, if the clips don't work, just send whoever your social media rep is for your club, and between 35 minutes in and 50 minutes in, basically, is where all of this is. Really, that's interesting, Brian. I know about the 13 colonies part, but I didn't know that WM3PEN has been busy recently. But that is good to know about them. And yes, the 13 colonies event is coming up as well. Link in chat. All right, so we're almost an hour in here. As I said, I had a few things I had to cover for chat and whatnot. But I want to see what you guys have for questions when it comes to, anything. Because this is a Q&A/AMA. So, and I like to try and keep it focused on the three subjects I know the most. But if that doesn't happen, then that's fine too. Let's see here. All right. I got your message, Dave. Fantastic. Now, I don't know if those Twitch clips show up afterwards or... What the... No, I have data here. Okay, so I got your message, Dave, because apparently YouTube glitched on me. And I don't know if those Twitch clips show up after I hit the end button or what. I'll have to check that out. But if not, between 35 and 50 minutes in is when all the ham clubs got their shout-outs in. So, and let's see here. Graceful, which Elmer? The OM or me? Because we already know the OM's going. He's going to be at Stafford Lake. Guaranteed. He might be at Vaca Valley. Or maybe both. Who knows? Who knows with him? Oh, okay. So Ham Alert's been active on that call. That's interesting. I wonder if someone's using it ahead of when they're supposed to be. Yeah. That's interesting. That's quite interesting there, Brian. Oh, no, okay, so what it is, I just happened to look it up, Brian. I just happened to look it up. So what it is, move the microphone back down there where it belongs. They have the World Soccer Tournament. World Soccer Tournament. Jeez, I promise you I can speak. From June 11th to July 19th, and 13 colonies is July 1st to July 7th. So there's some overlap there between the two. So let's hear. Six soccer tournaments in Philly will be on the air during or near game day, and it's also one of the 16 special event stations operating from the 16 host cities in Mexico, Canada, and the U.S. WC2026SES.org for more information. So yeah, they have quite the interesting set there. Alright, so let's drop that in chat. There we go. And so you tried FT8 for the first time. Choked USB cable coming Monday. Let me guess. You got some RFI back into the computer, which froze up the computer or the program, or it disconnected the digital link between the radio and the computer. Yeah, that's a very common problem. Absolutely, but glad you're getting a good cable coming in on Monday. Fantastic. So, chat, what questions do you have for me? Yeah, did you rig USB cables to rescue? Absolutely. And James says, work on improving your grounding and add a choke on your feed line. Yeah, so they are called prayer beads because you attach them and then pray they work. But clip-on ferrites, they, for the most part, do the trick. And they do the trick well. You know, you can, in these bigger ones, you can get a handful of wraps through them. And even the smaller ones, you can get a handful of wraps through. Primate sample. Let's see. Actually, no, I can do this way because I have this set up now. Primate sample. And this is my USB keyboard, right? Let's see. Let me tilt that out a little bit. This is my USB keyboard. I have that. There's 2 wraps through here. I still have issues sometimes, but I got 2 wraps through there for my keyboard. Yeah, so you want ferrite chokes or ferrite beads to be precise, James. But well, you know, if you're using these for something else, I don't want to know about it. So Jakester had to get a USB isolator to get rid of that problem. That's interesting, Jakester. You know, generally speaking, just ferrite bead everything, you know, including the coax coming, you know, put a choke in line and you're good to go. Yeah, Dave, always be choking. Absolutely. Let me see here. Hit that button. I'm still here, chat. I'm still here. I just had to reach behind the green screen, and you guys don't get that, you don't get that privilege yet. or if you do. We'll find out if you do or not. But inline choke. These are the Coffee and Ham Radio one that Siggy made. So, you know, PL259 and SO239, and you put that at, well, I put it at the antenna end of the coax, and Bob's your uncle. Let's hear it. Give a wipe to both halves of the ferrite where they touch. Even a slight gap from dust will reduce their impedance. That is good to know, Hollywood. I should probably... I don't think mine are too dusty. Yeah, mine aren't too dusty. But let's switch over here. Back to overhead. I have to get used to the way this camera is set up. There we go. It's not too dirty, thankfully. But yeah, I'll just take like an glasses cleaning cloth, and just wipe them down. Just wipe them down and you're good to go. Absolutely, Hollywood. Yeah, there's that. Okay. we gone over this before, Tim? Yeah. Yeah, Bob is your uncle, isn't he? Oh, boy. So, trains? Photography? I haven't seen Jody in chat, so Jody's usually the one that goes, photography, let's do it. Because, like me, he is a photographer. But, let's see. Trying to clear something out here real quick that popped up. So, chat, what do you want to talk about tonight? I mean, I can... Actually, let's see if I can do this. Let's see if I can do this. If my computer chokes up on me, well, let's see what I can do here. Let me do that. Let's talk about taking photos of the ham radio operating while on a train. Well, James, that isn't often done. So, but I apologize, I've forgotten who it was, but somebody the other week asked if I could show them how a train operates, or something to that effect. And I'm like, oh, I guess maybe I could, but let's not that. I want this one. Oh wait, hold on. I want this in here. And then I'm going to put that there. And then I'm going to tell this to go to here. Okay, so that works. We talking cabooses? No, I mean, I guess we could, but no, I don't think we're going to talk cabooses, Tim. And let's see if I can start this. Where is... Yeah, okay, we'll start there. Oh, that's... Yeah, okay, there we go. And... I want... Where is it? Where is this thing that I want? There we go. Alright, so I'm going to start this. Hopefully, chat, pray for my computer that it doesn't crash on me when I do this here. If it crashes, just stick tight and I'll come back. I don't think it will, but just in case. Let's see. And then I need to... Do I have a... Add this. We're going to add this. Yeah, that works. Okay, where is... Alright, that's turned on. That's turned on. Turn that down for now. So far, so good. And yeah, Dave's right. Cabooses aren't really used anymore. If anything, they are used as shoving platforms. Air quotes, because that's the official current day name for them. But it's still a caboose. What it is if you have to shove a train for miles and miles and miles, like a local. It comes, say, a local that leaves Oakland Yard and comes back to Oakland Yard at the end of the day after doing all the switching. It will have a caboose, perhaps, just so that the conductor and brakemen have a safer place to ride other than hanging off the side of whatever the rear car is. So that's what cabooses are used for the most part these days. Very rare to see them working. The program I have is still loading, so once it's loaded, I will switch scenes and we'll try this out. But it is the top of the hour, and I do have to take care of this alarm that just went off on my phone. So I'm going to hit the BRB screen. Keep chatting. Hopefully by the time I get back, the program will be fully loaded. Okay. So far, so good. So far, so good, Sam. Nothing's breaking yet. I mean, the program I am trying to load up did say there was an error, so I had to restart the load process. But that's an error that was Frank caused, not program caused or anything like that. So, no. Really graceful? Really? Okay, 1802 local time. There's your timestamp. Oh boy. Okay, let's see. Chat, what else you got? Let's see here. Poto alerts just popped up. Oh, James, Kilo Echo 8, Papa Zulu November just went QRT apparently. Hey, Sean and Brant. Geez, you guys came in just at the right time to top the second hour. I am loading a program up because it is the closest thing to what I can do for y'all. Somebody somewhere in the last week or so here asked me what it was like, or could I show how trains happen. And actually, I chose the wrong idea. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll see how this works. But yeah, so we're trying something else during the Q&AMA. This might, if people like it, actually, I'm prematurely setting this up. Did we like the second hour? And I'm adding a third option other than yes and no. Hey, it loaded! Yes! Okay. So, chat, let me get this, there's that. Let me add some volume to this. There's that. We're gonna go +5, so it should be equal to my voice. Chat, can you hear that? For starters, can you hear that? Should be a nice little low rumble bumble. Let me know if you can hear that. Okay, so I just checked on the studio side. Yes, we can hear that. Yes, you can. Okay, let's pop over. Oh wait, I just lost the audio because I was in the wrong scene. But let's add that audio back into this scene. There we go. This is like Waterfall, only strong. Perfect. So, folks, this is called Open Rails Train Sim. And I have a typical consist. I will go through this. Oh, hold on. Where's Frank? We need Frank. Where's... Hold on. Let's go... We'll come over here, copy this, come back over here, copy this, and then shrink myself down. There we go. So, this is called Open Rails Train Sim. It is a literal simulator, and you can build your own custom stuff. This is a route that's under construction, but this train is what would be typical of real life. So it's 4 up front, 3 in the middle, another 3. This is a long train, Dave. Dave, this is a long train. It's Super Monster PSR. So it's 4 by 3 by 3 by all the empties at the end where they're supposed to be. 4 by 3 by 3. 4 3 3 3. Super Monster Train. Now, not all of these engines are online, and you can customize how to do this, different ways to do this. The train doesn't have to be this long. Unfortunately, you have to basically control up arrow to go between everything, so we have to control up arrow to get back to the front of the train. But I am going to show you guys. There we go. Oh, it's 4 3 3 3. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, long train running, absolutely. So, this is from inside the cab. This is, as you can see, let me make myself bigger here. We are over the right-hand rail. That means we are the engineer in this position, because this is also... Oh, wait, on. This is also the engineer control panel, with physical controls. We're going to put Frank up here. With physical controls further down. Now, this is the conductor side. Does vary a little bit. This is a very simplistic setup in the train sim here, but this is where I would sit and what I would see, and as you can see, we are now over the left rail. So if we were to come out here and look at the train from the front, let's see, we're gonna make Frank big. Well, not that big, Frank. Here we go. This is the engineer, and that's the conductor. Right? All right. We're following along so far. Yeah, hopefully. So, I'm going to be the engineer today. We're going to turn on all the extra driving aids. You just saw them pop up on both sides of the screen. We are letting the air release, and as you can see, right there at the bottom corner of my little... Oh, there we go. Right here where my mouse is, you can see the brake cylinder is decreasing, the brake pressure is increasing, and it will balance out at 90 psi. The main will balance out at 140 psi. Well, Greg, welcome. WB2YZG. You'll be able to vote. you'll be able to vote if you want to. So we're going to take this, and it's really hard to see over in this window, and I cannot plus that up. That is the size it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it up here. But right here, right where my finger is, it says 0% and 12%. That 12% is my rear set of engines. So right now the 0% is up front, 12% is the rear. And you will see that increase to 38% because I just put it into notch 3. And if I were to go to the back engines, which, well, the graphics decided to unload themselves, which does happen, they are starting to push on the rear. So here we go. I don't have pop chat in here. Let me fix that. That is a window capture, pop chat. There we go. So when Dave was on, so fun fact, if you guys didn't know, Dave worked for the railroad as well, but he was in the repair the air brake system department. So yeah, Graceful, basically a VR game, but it is interactive, and so I can control everything. So now you'll notice down there the throttle is in notch 2, and you can see we are starting to move. And because we're approaching this grade crossing, long, short, long, and we hold this long until we have fully occupied the grade crossing right there. Now, this train, I can turn the bell off and keep the noise down. This is Bakersfield Yard for the Union Pacific as it is today. And we are heading towards Mojave. So this is literally going up and over Tehachapi Pass. Right now, I do not have working signals in this game, although I'm running about 30 frames per second, which isn't too bad. I do not have working speed limits either, but besides the fact that I haven't been qualified on it forever, I have a cheat sheet of all of California right here. So I want to look at the UP Mojave sub. My maximum speed limit right now is 60 mph. And if the signals had been working and everything had been behaving themselves, myself or the engineer, depending upon who wanted to do it, would have called out a diverging movement at that signal. Presuming that we were line crew for a long while, it would be a diverging clear. So red over green. And I'm going to free roam this for a second here. We're going to come back to that signal. So this top head right here would, let me zoom out, there we go. Top head would have been red on the bottom because it's backwards from regular signals. So it would have been red over green. And as you can hopefully maybe see, either right here or way over there on the track monitor, we are currently going up a 0.3% grade. So, Jason, okay, so my computer is laggy a little bit. Just a heads up, so I may have to kill this. But Jason, basically, this game is, so there are activity-based things that you can do, but this game is free roam. So, yeah, sort of. And Jason. So Dave's department was the most important thing. If the air brakes aren't working properly, we have to bad order the car and wait for the car department to come out and fix whatever's going on. So that is where Dave mostly was. Now you'll notice here, I skipped up the chat. I wasn't in this one. You'll notice here I'm coming up on another what is called control point. This one, however, and I'm going to wait till I'm almost right on it. This one, however, right here, this little platform here, and the steps down, and where the car is, the Suburban is right over there. This is a actual crew change point, and what it looks like for this specific crew change point in Bakersfield. So, for example, if UP doesn't have room back up at the depot to do a crew change or whatever, they'll come down here to Magden. I know I'm not pronouncing that right. It's Magundin is how it's spelled out. Magunden. So that is where we are at. For those of you familiar with the Bakersfield South area. Now, we will be in the 60-mile-an-hour zone for a little while here until we get to the 50-mile-an-hour zone, which is the next one. But you notice I just increased our throttles. So you will watch the speed over on the track monitor to start to ramp up. Let's see, that looks too green to really be Bakersfield. This isn't green. This is deserty territory to a little bit. But with that being said, Jason, there is a ton of agriculture and oil fields in the Bakersfield area. Now, this game, unless you're running one of the activities, and I'm not, this game will ding you like in real life, you know, with the onboard cameras and the computer system and whatnot these days. This game will ding you in activity mode if you don't do something properly. So only because I have a general rough idea of I know where I'm at, I'm still 4 miles. I had to look at my little cheat sheet here. I'm still 4 miles from where the speed transitions from 60 down to 50. Oil fields aren't green and row crops don't count. I think row crops do count. This is east or south towards Tehachapi, Dave. I'm eastbound and down on SP terms. On UP terms, I'm southbound. This is, what is it? Edison Highway, right here. And if I were in the game, this is where the horn for that grade crossing up there starts to be activated. And it can be no longer than 7 seconds per whistle for no more than a total of 14 seconds for the whole crossing sequence. And there's your cue, or grade crossing sequence. Yeah, I knew what you meant, Dave. Yeah, this is eastbound. So all of this track territory, Dave, is current as of today's specification in 2026. So you'll notice, like up here, I'm sort of blocking it. Hold on. Let me shrink things myself a little. You'll notice here there's a change in track coming up. So right now I'm on all concrete ties and concrete gravel, right? And now we're on wooden ties. And this little white spot up here that we're approaching, that's Edison. I need some GTA level graphics. Unfortunately, Mark, they don't provide those. Yes, I know Eastbound and Down are Jerry Reed terms, Jason, but are there different rules for different types of crossing markers? In the U.S., no. A grade crossing is a grade crossing, and you get a little W or X, depending upon the railroad, alerting you that there is a crossing coming up. And it has to be within a quarter mile of the crossing. So you'll notice if I jump back into cab view here, in the center between the two rails, between the track I'm on and the other track, you'll notice a little sign right here coming up. It says W. So that tells the engineer you start whistling. Now there can be a sign that says WMX, Mike X-ray, or QZMX, Quiet Zone Multiple Crossings. MX stands for multiple crossings. Good old switch tracks. This is Edison. What's left of Edison, Dave. Yeah, silent crossings are QC or QZ, Quebec Zulu, QZ for quiet zone. And then if you have multiple crossings back to back, it's QZMX for multiple crossings. Now you notice I've left the bell running. That's because I also know coming up here on the at the end here of this track, there's a dirt crossing. It's not an actual road crossing, it is a dirt crossing. Now you notice here, this crossover and these switches have no signals to them, right? Those are hand throw switches. So everything between Sandcut, which we are coming up to, and Magunden back there at Bakersfield, everything between those two control points would get a stop signal if there was somebody doing local switching at Edison. Is there a whistle code or link to signal the length of the line? No. So the Mojave sub is a total of 181 miles from Colton, California to Bakersfield, California. Now you notice I got a little late on the crossing here. There is no signal for that. Now, if we'd been running in that actual activity, I would have just been dinged because I didn't start the grade crossing sequence at the right time. But no, there's no sort of whistle code to tell you how long the line is. Yeah, Colton Yard's still there. The BNUP Cross Diamond, however, is not. It is now a flyover on the UP side. So the UP goes up and over the BN. Yeah, Colton is nothing like The yard itself is still, pretty well the same. Now, but the diamond's no longer there. Oh, okay. The diamond is no longer regularly used. There is a flyover. They kept the diamond in place because of the interchange trackage between the two railroads in the area. Lincoln train? No, there's no whistle code for that either, Graceful. No whistle code at all. I'm on Burlington Northern, Jeff. It took me a second there, but I'm on Burlington Northern. And this is one of the territories that I'm familiar-ish with, because I used to work it. Now, you notice, I really don't know. It doesn't look like it over on my other screen here. But we're now going up a 1.6% grade, and my speed has massively dropped. I'm down to 34 miles an hour and dropping. And we are just now coming into the 50 mile an hour zone in just a minute here. So I have decided to up the throttle. So now we are in notch 6. I can think about that. So I'll come back over here and I'll sit in. So if I were to be looking out the window, this is what I'm looking at. No, there is no code for that at all, Graceful. What blind people would do is they would wait to feel the rumble stop, or if they're at a grade crossing where you should legally be crossing, they wait until the bell stops ringing and the gates go up, because you can figure that out. Alright, so whistle marker. Because you can just barely start to see the grade crossing bits here. Right there. Let's see here. In this game, can you make the train do a barrel roll? Because if you can't, I'm not playing it. Mark, you can get into the custom commands and you can make weird stuff happen. But generally speaking, no. This is more like a training no pun intended on the train part. Training simulator. A lot of guys just play this for fun. There's a whole community. This is so for those that may not realize it or know it, this is the newer version of Microsoft Train Simulator that came out in 2001. This is the newer, updated version. Besides the manifest, how would EMS know what the link of the train was if there was an emergency? Conductor or engineer would tell them, Graceful. That's what would happen. We as the crew are in charge of working with EMS, etc., PD, etc., etc. Well, Mark, funny you should mention that, because this control point that's coming up is Sandcut. And this is where, between this control point and control point Bina, Bravo Echo November Alpha, between these control points is where the speed technically drops from 60 to 50, because we go from an uphill at 1.3% to an almost immediate downhill at 1.3%. And if you can see this yellow number clear enough right here, you can watch that happen in real time. Yeah, Dave, exactly. They could also find out from dispatch, because dispatch or Railroad Operations Center, ROC, would be probably the ones to call it in, because we can't call it in. We call our dispatcher, and our dispatcher then calls the local non-emergency direct to dispatch center for that area. So Graceful, say for example, something happened in Jack London Square. Well, Omaha would immediately call Alameda County 911 system without dialing 911. Now, Mark, we're starting down that grade now. Now, technically, I should be dropping my throttle and just, braking, putting a little bit of dynamics in, but I'm not going to, just for you. Graceful, it's usually only the two of us in the head end, unless you're a local that does switching. Then there's the brakeman, conductor, and engineer. Floor it. I'm basically floored it, but okay, hold on. Let's not be in there. Let's 100% throttle. Right there. 100% throttle. Down to 1% grade. Now you have to remember, half my train back there is still going uphill. Everything here is going downhill. Right, Dave, rolling coal, absolutely. I just drove through a cow pasture and passed out from carbon monoxide and methane. Yeah, that doesn't happen, Mark, because we're very well insulated in there. Let's see, so over there at the track monitor, my projected top speed right now is 84 miles an hour, and my current speed is 68 miles an hour. Now, you notice I have leveled off. I am no longer going up or down. Oh no, now I'm going up 0.5% or so. And then grade crossing. Yeah, Jason, this is basically riding with Frank, but in a simulator. This is what I can adjust this in the sim, but this is more or less what my view. Now, this signal would be a diverging something. For safety's sake, we'll say it's a diverging clear. If I'd been going faster before the hill, I'd have more inertia. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, the sharp curve at the bottom of the hill. Yeah, absolutely, Dave. And that's how derailments would happen. And I am going to go a little faster. Well, I'm going to go as fast as the sim will let me at 100%. Throttle, but I will we'll get through this as fast as possible. right, Dave. Yeah, don't need a thin flange there, not at all. But so this is a sim, so there are some parts of it that obviously this type of train, even with this amount of horsepower, is not going to be doing 72 miles an hour. It's really not. That's not going to happen. So there are some realistic points to it and some not so realistic points to it. Let's see here. You imagine passenger trains would have different protocols for derailments and stuff? Oh yeah, absolutely, Graceful. Absolutely. Well, how would they know how to get me, Mark? They'd have to drug my food, my water supply, something like that, and it would have had to come from within my own house, because 8 out of 10 times I bring my own stuff with me. I know I'm totally killing your arguments here, but yeah. Let's hear it. I'm hearing narration from Ringo Starr now in my head. You're welcome, Hollywood. Oh, come on. Here we go. Let's see here. Yeah, absolutely. No, I did not just say that. Absolutely, Dave. You need a lot more than a rear railer. At that point, the insurance company's just writing off everything and giving whichever railroad a lump sum. So, okay, drop some of the rear cars. I could do that. So at this point, my maximum speed should only be 30 mph. A lot of people just play this for fun, Mark. That's the funny thing about it. Alright. Let's see. Just to speed things up. So these green numbers, I know this is hard to read, but this is how the sim is. It's not a me problem, it's a screen problem. These first four are in green. Let's see, there we go. These first four are in green. Those are my lead four engines. And these ones right at the edge of the comment. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Right at... Oh. Did I just do something? I must have just done something. Oh, yeah, I just did something. So I clicked the uncouple button, chat. So right now, the only things I have physical control of are these first two cars. Oh, no, wait, hold on. No, it came back. So I'm going to take everything except for... Come on, are you going to let me do this? You going to let me do this? I don't know why it's not letting me do this. That's interesting. So, it's not letting me uncouple stuff. That's weird. So something with this screen is funky right now. Otherwise, I would uncouple a bit and change that. So my speed is now down to 54 and dropping for some reason. Jason. Let's see, can I... Oh, here we go. Oh, where? There we go. Okay, now I can do this. Alright. So, now you see how that list dropped? That means I have now disconnected right there. So, you see how part of the train's taking off, and well, you can hear the wheels squealing. That's that part of that. The rest of my train, something happened, and this is what's called a UDE. I already reset the sim itself, but an undesired UD emergency, a UDE. So we're now in Caliente, California. And at this point, this is where the speed changes from 30 miles an hour to 23 miles an hour. And I am 23, as you know, if I were doing this realistically, I'm at 23 miles an hour for the next 22.6 miles of track. We are going around the horseshoe curve at Caliente. See? Horseshoe curve. Yes, undesired emergency. UDE. No, none is a desired emergency, Mark. You don't want an emergency, period. Start flipping switches behind. I could do that. See over on that window how it's just the white train? Now there's yellow and white. That's me flipping the switch. And as we climb up this 1.6% grade, to a degree, we will see the rest of the train just sitting down there. Hey, Tim, are you still in chat, EOD? No, Jason. They literally have to spell it out, UDE. And generally speaking, at that point, one of us on the radio picks up the handset and goes, okay, hold on, what's my engine number here? 8026. UP 8026, emergency, milepost 335.4. That's Caliente, by the way. And we then, dispatcher, whoever's listening at Omaha in UP's case, goes, UP 8026, what's your emergency? Over. And then we explain, well, we had a UDE, or, well, we just hit someone, or, 30 cars back, we can see it in the rear view, 5 cars have toppled over, which usually results in the UDE anyway. All right, Tim, do you know if Rob's doing his live tonight, if he's posted it? I haven't been paying attention, and if he is, I want to get the redirect set up. So we are now going through Tunnel 2. No, Robert. Okay, thank you. We're now going through Tunnel 2. We are going up a 2.4% grade at 100% throttle, and we're still somewhere in the 40s. We're about 46 miles an hour. No PTC. Well, I mean, if you include this window and that window as PTC, sure, absolutely. Josh live in some? That's not possible. So you notice, even with this short amount of cars, we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We only have 15 cars and 4 engines, and we are still in the 40s for speed. Oh yeah, Josh is going live. That's interesting. Tim, would you ask Rob in our group chat if he's actually going live, or if he's letting Josh take it, so I know which one to redirect to, please? Because this is hogging the CPU a little bit for me. Drop some C4 in the tunnels. That would be hilarious, Mark. So, you want to know what's funny about that, Mark? It's not the diameter of the wheels. If I were to come over here, let's see if I can do this. Even in real life, like that pacing shot there. Sorry, railfan moment. All right, let's get up in here. There is, as you can see, a very small portion of the wheels that actually make contact with the rails. So it's amazing they even stay on in the first place. And you can see the truck bouncing around a little bit here. This is what the wheels are all on a truck. So if I zoom out, this here is a truck. There's the front truck, and then as we go through switches, the rear truck. Now let me reset. we are now going through Bealville. And again, because we're coming off the siding, we would have a diverging and then either clear approach, a flashing yellow would be an advanced approach, or if we had red over flashing red, it would be restricting, which means prepared to stop at the next signal. But the next signal is an intermediate. Thanks, Tim. So let me... We're out of the tunnel now. So my next signal would be an intermediate. And yes, there are comm towers in this route. There's no communication that's actually used in this route. But, yeah. Yeah, restricted speed usually begins with Amtrak. It really does. Absolutely. What is the horn? So when I'm inside the engine in the tunnels, Jason? So like this? Oh, we're coming up to the next tunnel, so... Sounds the same. And yes, I did turn on the cab light as we went through the tunnel. See? Cab light off, cab light on. Now this is the siding known as Cliff. Ignore the world behind me that didn't get created for whatever reason. This siding has had so many derailments over the years. Yeah, that's, I don't know which one they used on this model in the sim, but yeah, it definitely a K5 derivative for sure. See, I keep trying to move my arrow keys while in chat. So when you see you see it? Yeah. When you see this red outline around the whole window, that means I'm not in the sim. So if I were to hit the horn, I'm just hitting the space bar in chat. But now the red goes away, and I'm horny again. So what did I say? 15 cars and 4 engines, and these are modern day engines. These 4 engines are modern day. Like there's a rare day in where we don't have something this modern on the train. Maybe you see there I go trying to move the camera. I'm in chat. Maybe you never know. Let's there. You know what's worse than spending an hour of your life playing a train simulator that won't derail? Watching Frank play a train simulation that won't derail. Oh boy. Do I even want to know, Jason? Do I even want to know? Graceful, you can get them. I'll send you a link. You can get one and tell me how you like it. Simulate walking back to engine 2. That's funny, Mark. Let's see here. All right. So the problem with this sim is the cab is more 2D than 3D, unfortunately. Because that's all I get. But if one were to do that, let's come over here, I would have to go, follow my mouse, I'd have to go behind the engineer, out this door. I'm going to have to do this after the tunnel. Because watch what happens when I enter a tunnel. it forces me into the cab. Oh no, you can buy a train horn for a lot cheaper than 2K. Trust me. All right. So we walk out. See, the problem is we're in tunnel territory, so we walk out that door, we walk down the side of the engine. Let me zoom out a little. We get. Oh, see, now my mouse keys are all messed up. We go across that. And then let me. Now where's my zero? I'm all messed up now, Mark. See, now my pivot point's at the front of the engine. And then we walk up the second unit there on the right side and into that cab and then into the head. We are now at Rowan. So we're almost up to the infamous Tehachapi Loop, and depending upon time, I might kill it at that point. And Tim, all I can see in Discord is the one new notification message. So when I see that turn to 2, I'll ask you, or yeah. This whole sim is giving off 90s vibes. You know, that's the funny thing about it, Mark. This is all current day, not just railroad, this is all current day sim technology as well as gaming technology. Minus the fact, you know, it's based on, it's ORTS rebuilt to a degree, some of it, but it's based on the root of Microsoft Train Sim. So if those trains are unlocked, do the hobos ever go into the rear engines to hang out? Technically, we are supposed to make sure that all engines are secured before movement. Not everyone does that, and not everyone, you know, sometimes you can get the key for certain things online at very easy marketplaces online, you know. So, you know, even if we do lock it up, that's not a guarantee that it's gonna stay locked. I know every engineer on every train, all their children and all their names. Yes, I'm singing it poorly on purpose so I don't get the copyright strike. So, Mark, you're going to have to be more specific than that because, like hams, no offense to those watching currently, if this relates, but like hams, a lot of crew people are, yeah, they could use some deodorant. Some heavy-duty Axe deodorant at that. So, I'm yeah. Now, we are, it's to a degree fully modeled. I'm just going to use free roam here. I'm going to come out and around. We're going around another horseshoe, but all of this property between that barn up there and the tracks here, all of this property is the Cesar Chavez Center there in the Tehachapi Mountains. I think there's a little on the other side of the tracks too, but this is the Cesar Chavez Center in the Tehachapi Mountains. That is Highway 58 right there going across the hillside there. Yeah, pretty much. All the UP units smell like it. Yeah, pretty much. So Mark, it's a little hard. There we go. Fine. a little hard to tell whether or not there's, yeah. Oh, yeah, I know, not much, not for much longer, but yeah, this is where that center is. And we're about to go under Highway 58. This is part of the Mojave River watershed. Yes, surprisingly enough, the Mojave Basin has a watershed. And it all comes out of the Tehachapi Mountains. We are less than a mile. Yeah, we're less than a mile from Tehachapi Loop at this point, which is perfect timing. And since I haven't seen a response from Rob, I am just going to forward everyone to Josh's live stream. I'm going to set that up while this train is continuing to climb the 2.2% grade up Tehachapi Pass. Let's see, that is... which one is this? The only sad thing about this is that there are rails and you can't go around running over things. That's the only one, though. So, Jason, this was meant, you know, more to train people that are train rail fans and or train employees. We use something very, very similar in Dallas and in Omaha and in LA for the training of our, you know, make sure we're current on all the rules and all that sort of thing. So it's not horrible. Now, let's see, where is it? Oh, wrong way frame. There it is. There's the comm towers. So I'm going to come up on these comm towers here because this is actually, these comm towers right here is where the Tehachapi Loop rail cam is. So if I come up here, because I know where I placed the scenery, there's the camera. This is Tehachapi Loop. So I'm down there in the bottom right corner. I'm going around this curve where my mouse is right now. I'm going to shut this off. This curves around, goes up, around the backside here, and then over Tehachapi Loop. I am going to keep this open just so I can see stuff. And I'm going to end the poll. And the poll says, y'all like the second hour. 73% said so. Out of 11 votes, 18% said no, and 9% said move it to Thursday. Oh, I'm just going to screen capture that. Yeah, Jason, remember we did that UDE earlier down at Caliente. And yes, the town name is Caliente, California for a reason. Open it. Oh, whoops. There we go. So, Dave, this is zoomed in. But if you watch here, you can just barely... There we go. There we come. Up and around. Yes, I am aware of that, Mark. So, I'm going to stop that right there since Josh is now live. Until next week, 73, put on, and remember, I have a goal.